Okay, so have you ever even heard of a lime kiln operator?
Can't say that I have.
Me neither, honestly. It wasn't on my radar at all until we got these RoleCatcher files. But let me tell you, it's way more interesting than it sounds. We're talking massive ovens, but instead of, cookies or something, they're baking rocks. Limestone, to be precise.
And it's not just baking rocks, right? It's like transforming them. They become this super versatile material that's used in everything. I mean, you see it in skyscrapers and even like purifying your water.
Wait, are you serious? You're saying the same stuff that ends up in concrete is also in my drinking water?
Yeah. It all begins with the lime kiln operator.
Okay, hold on. I have so many questions. So they're the ones that, control this whole process?
Exactly. Yeah. They make sure the limestone is heated perfectly to create different grades of lime, each with its own chemical makeup.
Hold up. Different grades. So it's not like one size fits all.
Not at all. Think of it like baking. You wouldn't use baking soda and baking powder interchangeably, would you?
Sure.
They both make things rise, but they have different chemical reactions, different results, Same with this lime stuff. The type used for construction needs to be super strong and pure, but the kind used for water treatment, that needs to be highly reactive. It grabs onto impurities.
Wow, this is way more complex than I imagined.
Mm-hmm.
So how does a lime kiln operator manage all of that? I mean, they're not just like chucking rocks into a giant oven,
Yep.
right?
Nope, not quite.
Okay, good.
It's all about finding this balance. You're monitoring temperatures, adjusting airflow, and basically you become a master at making sure that limestone transforms into exactly the right type of lime for the job.
This is an art form.
Yeah, and with all the new tech, it's less about manual labor and more about mastering these sophisticated control systems.
So instead of needing just muscle, you need brain power too. The RoleCatcher guide mentioned something about how this isn't your grandfather's factory job. What's that all about?
Yeah, that's a good point. It's true, the industry's changing fast. A lime kiln operator these days needs to be as comfortable with data analysis and troubleshooting tech issues as they are with the physical parts of the job.
Okay, but let's be real for a second. Even with fancy tech, working in a lime production place can't be all that glamorous, right?
Yeah.
What did the guide say about the downsides?
Well, it can be really physically demanding. You're probably on your feet for a long time dealing with heavy equipment. And then there's the potential exposure to dust and heat. Safety is a major thing in this line of work.
Yeah, definitely not a job for someone who wants to sit at a desk all day. But you know what surprised me? The RoleCatcher guide listed working outdoors as a perk. I didn't picture that at all. I thought it were all like indoors.
Right. It's easy to assume you'd be stuck in a control room all day, but they actually do spend time outside too. They could be inspecting equipment, monitoring stuff, or even, spending time at the quarries where they get the limestone.
So maybe a little fresh air balances out the intense chemical reactions.
Yeah.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit and talk about the career path. What's it like to climb the old lime ladder, so to speak?
That's where it gets interesting, I think. RoleCatcher lays out a clear path. You can go from entry level all the way up to senior operator.
Okay, so what changes as you move up? Is it just about how long you've been there, or are there ways to actively level up your lime game?
It's definitely not just like showing up every day and then you get promoted.
Right.
So RoleCatcher says that when you're starting out, you're probably assisting the more experienced operators,
Oh, yeah.
kind of like you're an apprentice.
Makes sense.
Yeah, you learn the ropes, watch the basic processes, and just get a feel for how the kiln operates.
So it's like Lime Kiln 101, hands-on learning and all that.
Totally. And then as you go, you get more and more responsibility. Like eventually you're controlling the kiln by yourself.
Wow.
You got to troubleshoot problems, maybe even start supervising a team. Each step requires a deeper understanding, not just of the chemical reactions, but the equipment too. You have to be able to tell when something's off, even if it's subtle.
So a seasoned lime kiln operator can't, sense when a batch is going bad. That's kind of wild.
Right.
Wow. But, okay, so it sounds like it's important to always keep learning new stuff.
It is. RoleCatcher really emphasizes that.
Yeah.
Staying up to date is key. There are trade associations, online forums. That's where those really into lime can, chat, share techniques, make sure their skills are sharp.
Like any field, I guess. Got to stay current.
For sure. Because technology changes, regulations change. Heck, even the types of lime that are in demand, that changes.
That's true. Okay, so for someone who's trying to picture themselves doing this job, Can you, like, walk me through a day in the life at different levels, maybe?
Yeah, sure. So if you're just starting out, you might be doing a lot of monitoring gauges,
Okay.
recording data, helping with the regular maintenance. It's a lot of building those fundamental skills and getting comfortable with how everything works.
So like I was saying before, it's putting those theoretical reactions into practice.
Exactly. Now, let's jump ahead. Let's say you're a senior operator.
Gotcha.
You're probably analyzing production data.
Uh-huh.
You're the one tackling those complex technical problems. You're managing other operators, maybe even figuring out ways to make the entire process better.
So they've gone from apprentice to, like, Lime optimization expert.
Exactly. They have a lot of responsibility.
Hmm.
And not as much hand-holding. They're the ones mentoring the new people, making sure everything runs smoothly.
Okay, so we've talked about the job, the career path, all that. But what about actually getting hired, especially in such a specific field? This is where those role catcher tools come in handy, right?
100%. For sure, they're super helpful.
Like, remember those AI things we talked about earlier?
Yeah.
They seem like they could be a big deal for standing out, when there's a ton of other people applying for the same job.
Totally.
Because it's not enough to just know the stuff about lying. You have to be able to, like, show off your skills,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Especially now with algorithms and all that.
Absolutely. And that's where RoleCatcher can help. Their AI can, break down those job descriptions
Okay.
and find the important keywords and then tell you how to tweak your resume so it doesn't just disappear into the void.
So it's like having, like, a Lime expert give you secret tips for your resume.
Pretty
That's really cool. Okay, but what about the interview? Any advice on how RoleCatcher can help with that?
Oh, for sure.
Because those can be nerve-wracking,
Yeah.
just thinking about all those questions.
Yeah, and the questions in this RoleCatcher guide were surprising.
Oh, yeah. What do you mean?
Like, there was one about how lime kiln operators are part of quality control.
Oh, interesting.
It made me realize these interviews, they go deeper than you might expect.
Right.
But that's good, though, because RoleCatcher gets you ready for that.
Okay.
They want to see that you can think for yourself, solve problems on the spot, show them that you actually care about the work.
So it's not just about knowing the right words. It's about showing them you get it.
Exactly. And RoleCatcher takes it a step further with their interview practice feature.
Oh, right.
It's like having a mock interview with a Lime Pro, but you can do it whenever, wherever.
I like that.
You can even record your answers, get feedback, and practice your, Lime vocab.
That's so smart. Okay, so RoleCatcher, it's like a secret weapon, even if you don't actually want to work with Lime.
Totally. The skills they teach you, those apply to anything.
That's awesome. So to wrap things up, what's the most important thing we learned from our Lime journey today?
Honestly, it's made me appreciate all the complicated stuff that goes on behind the scenes, things we use every day without thinking twice about them.
It's like, what other essential jobs are out there that we don't even realize exist?
That's a good point. There's always something new to learn about. Yeah. Well, that's all the time we have for today, listeners. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you learned something new and maybe even feel inspired to explore some of these resources yourself. Don't forget to check out RoleCatcher, and we'll catch you next time for another exciting deep dive.